Welcome back to Blanks No One Asked For, and in today's episode, a few Americans are going to react to cricket explained for baseball fans.
Finally, I'll understand what is going on, maybe.
If this is your first time visiting our channel, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel to see all of our future content.
And if you don't, Mark will spank you with his cricket paddle. Paddling.
So without further ado, let's do. Before we click play, we did react to the top 10 cricket catches of all time. If you've not seen that reaction, feel free to check that out after this video. But that was our first introduction to the sport of cricket, period. We were blown away by the fact that these people are catching these balls with their bare hands.
Balls.
Multiple balls.
Catching the balls. Why you say it so hard? Catching these balls.
Put so much emphasis on the B.
Yeah, that's wild. So to us, I'm not going to say I'm a baseball fan, but I know the basic rules.
Big sports guy, right?
Yeah, big sports guy.
This will be interesting to see what the actual rules are and how the game is played.
Zach will learn how to play cricket and baseball at the same time.
Cricket explained if you already know baseball.
All right. To get this started, I want you to imagine a game much like baseball, except there are only two bases, and they're basically where home plate is and where the pitcher's mound is. Okay. To score a run in this game, you simply have to reach the next base. So if you put the ball in play and you make it to the pitcher's mound, that's a run. And then if you're able to make it back to home plate, then you score 2 runs on that play. This game is played in the middle of an oval, so there's no foul area. You can hit the ball behind you, you can hit it to the side or whatever. And in this
Zach,
game,
I think you would be great at this.
Bounce the ball. If you can picture this game in your mind, you are...
Why is the bat so flat?
That's freaking cold. That's cool.
That's cold.
That's cold, Dow.
So you can hit it anywhere in the circle.
Yep. Yeah,
and
you
good.
literally just tip it behind you and then take off running.
So why is the bat flat?
Yeah, that's why we called it a paddle, Mark, because all we were seeing was like out of context catches. We had no concept of the sport.
Paddle?
No, it's not a paddle, Mark. It's a bat.
It's a bat.
But it looks like a paddle because it's flat.
But it's a bat.
But it's a bat. We know it's a bat.
It's a bat.
Bat.
Not a paddle.
Not a paddle.
75% of the way to picture this game in your mind. You are 75% of the way to understanding cricket. The rest of it is details.
Are there any
Before
home
we get
runs?
started, I just want to say that I'm going to be explaining this like I would to a friend of mine who knows baseball and wants to know about cricket. I'm probably going to be switching between baseball and cricket terminology a little bit more freely than maybe somebody who's a hardcore cricket fan might be comfortable with. Feel free to correct me in the comments, but what might be more fun is if you made a companion video that explains baseball in reverse. All right, let's get started.
Basic gameplay.
So cricket is a game played between two teams of 11 players. When a team is fielding, all 11 of its players are on the field at the same time. 9 players are out in the field at the various positions, and then there's one bowler, who is basically the pitcher, and one wicketkeeper, who is basically the catcher. And then the team that is batting has 2 players at bat at any given time. These batters stand at opposite ends of the pitch, which is a narrow rectangle that's in the middle of the oval that is the...
You know, I never even paid attention to that during
I've noticed
the top 10. Like, there's a batter at both ends.
Yep.
cricket field. At the ends of the pitch are 2 wickets, which are these little structures that have 3 stumps and 2 bails. The stumps are the 3 pieces of wood that are in the ground, and the bails are these 2 little pieces of wood that rest on top of the stumps. A play begins when the bowler, which is basically the pitcher, bowls the ball to the batter. The bowler is ultimately trying to break the wicket, which would get the batter out. More on that later. The batter is trying to protect the wicket and put the ball in play. If the ball is put in play and the batter and the teammate are able to switch places, so basically assume the other one's position, the team has scored a run. And if they can do that again, then they score 2. And if they can do that again, they score 3, etc.
Wow. Okay.
There are no strikes in cricket. The batter can just choose not to swing if they don't want to. And there's no penalty for hitting a batter with a legally thrown ball. Batters are expected to protect the wicket and not let themselves get hit. In fact, as we'll see in a little bit, there are actually situations where a batter can be called out if they allow themselves to be hit with the ball. There is the equivalent of a ball in cricket. It's called a wide. And if the umpire has determined that the bowler has bowled the ball wide, 1 run is awarded to the batting team.
Wow.
There's also something in cricket called a no ball, which is when the umpire has determined that the ball has been delivered illegally. And there's a couple dozen different reasons why an umpire might call a no ball. If the umpire calls a no ball, just like a wide, 1 run is awarded to the batting team. In cricket, the batters stay on the field until they are out. So they continue to bat and score runs until they are put out.
Okay.
This means that, just like in baseball, a batter can be out with 1 single swing of the bat, or they can stay at bat, I guess.
So I'm sure they will tell us in just a second, but what do you think the average end score of a cricket game would be?
It's got to be in the hundreds.
Oh, yeah. Easy.
Right now, I think that says it's
28-9.
no. I think that's 74-1.
Man, that must suck. Or they haven't got up to bat yet.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
I think. I don't know.
And then it says target of 299. Because, I mean, you got to think, like, one person just continuously smacking the ball. Like,
Yeah.
So is there not multiple batters? Like your whole
There is, but it's unlike
Is there a batting
baseball.
order?
Unlike baseball, when you hit, you go to the next batter.
Yeah.
They just keep going until they're out.
Okay. Send in your
So I'm
next
sure
two
there's probably
come up. I guess.
probably there's probably
out of your and I
Or-
guess
you'll probably swat. You go
Switch.
to the runner spot.
And then the next person comes
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
bowler spot.
A batter can be out with 1 single swing of the bat, or they can stay at bat, I guess forever. But it's common for a batter to score between like 20 and 50 runs in an at bat, and it's not unheard of.
I
for
think
a
Zach
batter
was
to
right.
hit 100.
Then the white was the score because that says IND 3 at 229 now, and that says that's the teams playing down there.
Or is that the number of points a player has scored that game?
I think the number of points is like India has scored they're in the 3rd inning and they scored 229 runs.
So the way I'm anticipating this, it's got MS, Donnie, and Collie. I'm thinking the bold number is what they've scored this particular
At bat, yeah.
at bat, and then the lighter color that's smaller is the overall.
Yeah,
Overall.
I'd agree with that.
And the collie is at bat right now.
Probably.
Yep.
Yep, because he's got the paddle.
Yep.
The bat in his hand.
And 50 runs in an at bat, and it's not unheard of for a batter to hit 100. This is called a century, and it's very fun.
The boundary.
Along the perimeter of the cricket field is the boundary. This can be a rope or a little cushion type thing, or it could be a short fence or a wall. When a ball is put in play and it reaches or goes past the boundary, that is called a boundary. A ball that rolls and hits or passes the boundary or bounces over the boundary like a ground rule double is worth 4 runs for the batting team. A ball that is hit over the boundary, so basically like a home run, is worth 6 runs for the batting team.
Wow.
Outs.
I also have to say, having watched rugby explained for football fans, this video is superior. in my
Yeah,
opinion.
for sure.
And it's by the same person, I think. But I just think this one, maybe the sports translate better, like comparison wise. I don't know. I'm just this video is very well done.
You do know? Is it because you know more about baseball than you do football?
Potentially.
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 For the batting team.
Outs.
There are several ways that a batter or runner can get put out in cricket, and they boil down to 2 basic categories. A batter can be caught out, which is just like baseball. They hit a ball in the air and a fielder catches it. Or they can be out if the fielding team
No gloves.
knocks the bails off the stumps of the wicket when you are in a position where that can put you out.
What
That's cool.
the heck?
That's cool. You could try and block it.
That was like,
So it's basically going to like first base, throwing somebody out at the base.
If the fielding team knocks the bails off the stumps of the wicket when you are in a position where that can put you out. There's a few different ways this could happen.
While diving,
You could be
make
run
a
out. This is where you are
pitch.
trying to score a run, but
Jeez.
they knock the ball into the wicket before you reach the crease that defines the place where you are safe. By the way, the bat is part of your body.
that is so
determining
cool.
whether or not you are safe. You can be bowled out, and these are very exciting. This is where the bowler sends the ball to you, and the ball bounces past you and knocks the bails off the stumps. A batter can also be put out by
Like how do you even, how does one person come up with this? Like the first person to come up with cricket. Like how do you think to put 3 stakes and then,
I mean, that might not have been the original thing.
yeah, it's just
I mean, basketball play was played on a milk creek until
yeah.
1920 or so.
That's a really like neat and unique.
I mean, if you want to get like really like antiquated about it, I mean, the Romans were playing like really medieval sports way back in the times of the Colosseum. You know, they were taking people's heads and throwing them through rings. You know, so it just evolved with time.
That's crazy.
past you and knocks the bails off the stumps.
This is cool.
A batter can also be put out by the wicketkeeper if the batter moves past this line here called the popping crease, and the wicketkeeper gains possession of the ball and knocks the bails off the stumps. This is called being stumped out. A batter can also be called out if they allow the ball to hit them, and the umpire determines that the ball would have knocked the bails off the stumps if the batter had not
Trying to block
interfered
it.
with
Body
the
block.
This is called a leg before wicket. So those are the most common ways that you will see a batter or runner get put out by the fielding team. There are several other much less common ways for a batter to get out, and we will not be getting into them here. One major difference between baseball and cricket is in cricket, if the fielding team thinks that they have gotten a batter or runner out, they first have to appeal to the umpire, who will confirm whether or not the batter or runner is out. So if a batter or runner would be out, but no one on the fielding team notices it, then play just continues, and the umpire will not just like call them out. When a player is put out, the bowling and fielding team is said to have taken the wicket, and the batting and running team is said to have lost the wicket.
Overs.
Each series of 6 pitches or deliveries, which are called balls, is called an over. Each over has only one bowler, and each bowler only bowls 1 over at a time. So after a bowler has delivered 6 balls, they take a position in the field, and another player comes in to be the bowler for the next over. A bowler can field for an over and then come back to bowl again, but a bowler may not bowl 2 consecutive overs. If you're comparing this all to baseball, overs are similar to individual at-bats in terms of the flow of the game, right?
So in other words, whereas like baseball, for the most part, you have like 2 people that are like designated as a pitcher, and that's like, am I wrong about that? But
You only have one pitcher on the field at a time.
well, yeah, but you've normally got a backup pitcher.
You
Somebody
have
that's
multiple backup pitchers.
okay.
But only
Relief
one on the
pitcher,
field at a
yeah.
time.
Yeah, yeah.
And they don't come out. When they come out of the game,
They're done.
they're done. Unless they go into the field somewhere, which is not common, but it has become more common now that Shohei Ohtani and like
Go to first.
people like that are.
I
in the
guess
game.
I guess what I mean is like I know going into the game that I'm going to be pitching,
Yes.
and I also know if I'm not pitching. But here, basically everybody in the field becomes a bowler at some point in the game.
Or they could, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like
I'm sure there's people like that play this that are not good bowlers.
yeah,
That's why I was saying, like, you could, I would guess that you probably have 2 primary bowlers per team. Like one is throwing, and then when he cannot throw, the other one throwing, and then they keep swapping back and forth. But to your point, I'm sure there might be teams out there that might have 4 or 5 bowlers, you know? Or here's something that, you know, just big sports guys will know what I'm talking about. Typically in baseball, you don't let a left-handed pitcher throw to another left-handed pitcher, and a left-handed batter, and vice versa. So I'm sure there's probably something to do with that. There's probably left-handed bowlers that
And it
bowl.
seems like I've seen the batters switch sides like mid pitch.
Yeah.
So you think which you can't do that in baseball.
No.
You have to declare which side you're hitting on to begin with.
Yep.
So, but these people, they can switch like mid pitch almost. They're jumping over to the other side and hitting.
So I'm sure there's some strategy in there to it.
Yeah.
Are similar to individual at-bats in terms of the flow of the game, right? It's like one series of deliveries that everyone's watching, and then there's a brief pause while a new player comes on, and then there's a next set of deliveries that everyone's watching. The difference, of course, is that it's the bowlers, the pitchers that are coming in and out, and not the batters.
Formats.
Beyond everything that has been explained so far, the majority of the details of the game that you watch will depend on the format of cricket that you're watching. There are two basic formats of the game of cricket. There's first class cricket and there's limited overs cricket. First class cricket is what a lot of people think of when they think of cricket. We're talking about the games that go on for several days. Everyone is wearing white. Maybe the Queen shows up. And first class cricket.
He say days?
Days.
Did.
One game, several days?
That's what he said.
When a baseball game goes longer than 3 hours, we're complaining. Like, that's the whole reason baseball has brought in pitch count and all this other jazz, because the games were going too long.
Pitch clock. Yeah.
Everyone is wearing white. Maybe the Queen shows up. And first class cricket is most associated with the 5-day-long test matches that international teams play against one another. They're scheduled for 5 days, but they might be completed before that. At the beginning of the first day, there is a coin toss to determine which team goes first. And then the sides alternate going through their entire batting order. This happens twice. So each team goes through its batting order twice for a total of 4 innings. Unless the team that goes second scores more runs than the team that went first, in which case they don't have to actually finish their entire innings. They just win the game. That was very simplified. The rules governing test matches could be their own 15-minute video. The other format of cricket is limited overs cricket, where each team is limited to a certain number of overs, and each innings comes to an end when the specified number of overs has been reached or when all of the batters are out, whichever comes first. There are several types of limited overs cricket, but there are 2 that you are most likely to see. The first of these are the one-day internationals, or ODI. These are played between national teams, and each team has 50 overs. And then there's also T20 cricket, which is 20-20 cricket, where both teams get only 20 overs. This style of cricket was invented to be more exciting and more fast-paced, and to put the length of an individual match around the same as other common sporting events around the world. An easy way to know whether you're watching a test match or a limited overs match is whether the teams are wearing white or colors. And if you are watching a professional match, you're almost definitely watching a T20 match.
Scorekeeping.
All right, pay attention, because this is maybe the most confusing part of all of this.
Wonderful.
The scorekeeping. So at the bottom of the screen, you'll see it says India, and then it says 118 for 5. This does not mean that the score is 118 runs to 5 runs. No, this means that India has scored 118 runs
Over 5
for
overs.
5 wickets, which means that 5 of their batters have been put out. Then it says first innings. So this is the first innings of this match. Then it says England 287. So that's how many runs England scored in their innings. And since this is a test match, both teams will play 2 innings. Then you've got information about the 2 batsmen that are currently up and how many runs they've scored so far. Then at the end, it says Broad 0 for 24. This means that Broad, the bowler, has taken 0 wickets so far and has allowed 24 runs. And then the 15 o'clock over there, that's just the time of the day. It's 3 p.m. Now, for a limited overs match, there's a little bit more information that you need to know. So here you go. Down at the bottom, it says England. This is another game between England and India. It's a women's game. So it says England 103 for 4. So that means that they've scored 103 runs, for 4 wickets. P2, don't worry about what that means yet. Then it says 24.3 of 50. That means that we are 24 overs and 3 deliveries into this innings. And then the 50 means that this innings will have at most 50 overs, right? Because this is a one-day international. Then it says target 222. This means that India went first and scored 222 runs. So that's how many runs England has to score to win. And from there, it's pretty much the same as the test match we just saw. Just be careful, because if you're watching an Australian broadcast, the scores are reversed. The wickets are first and the runs are second. So on this one, it says Ren, that's the Renegades, that's one of the teams, 5 for 135. So it's 5 wickets for 135 runs. So just be careful, it might be confusing.
Some
Looks like
final
BBL
similarities
down
and
there.
differences.
All right, that's basically it. I thought that we would end this video with a few more similarities and differences between baseball and cricket. One major difference is that in cricket, if a ball is in play, the runners are not compelled to move, right? You only run if you think you can make a run. One similarity is that every cricket ground has different dimensions and a different shape. And much like in baseball, this means that certain cricket grounds are more favorable or less favorable to different play styles. Another difference is that in cricket, the positions refer to places on the field and not necessarily the individual fielders. So if baseball had a similar thing, like you would not be the shortstop for your team. You would just be a fielder who would be playing shortstop position. And then if your team was in a shift or whatever, maybe you would be said that you were in the second base position. Or maybe for one batter, you would be in the shallow mid outfield position, right? Another similarity is that in cricket, players' on-field and off-the-field behavior is governed by an old-fashioned sense of propriety that's not unlike the unwritten rules in baseball. And the final difference that's probably become clear to you as you watch this video is that cricket is a much more international game than baseball. I don't mean to say that it is more popular in more countries than baseball, although this might also be true. What I mean by this is that international competitions, so competitions between national teams, are the norm. They're not like a special thing that everyone tunes into every 4 years. Professional cricket is a relatively new phenomenon in the world. And while leagues are becoming much more popular these days, it wasn't very long ago that professional cricket was looked upon as diluting the purity of the game. All right, baseball fan, you have just become a cricket master and you are ready to watch any cricket game that comes across your television. If you are a cricket fan and you notice that I got something wrong, which I probably have, or that I left something out, which I probably did, feel free to let me know in the comments. Although, like I said before, it might be more fun for you to just make your own companion video. I would love to watch a video where an actual lifelong cricket fan tries to explain cricket for baseball fans, or tries to explain baseball for cricket fans.
I could watch that like 6 more times and probably pick up stuff that
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't get.
I'm just trying to see some cricket home runs now, man.
I'm also like the guy that runs the Sports Explained channel is very good at what he does. Like his delivery is almost calming in a way. But
Leave it on the editor guy to pick up on the calming aesthetic of this video.
I'm also genuinely curious now. Does the U.S. have a cricket team that participates in
Probably.
these?
You've got to
Probably.
believe they do.
I'm assuming,
I mean, they have rugby teams now.
Which again, and I kind of had like a light bulb moment. It's so interesting how many American sports are not participated worldwide.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you've got, all these sports from, let's just, take cricket, take rugby,
football.
that are like, you have these international competitions that U.S. sports don't have. We compete with ourselves.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that has something to do with like, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but just this is me thinking out loud, like the size of our country and the number of states as opposed to like
I mean, of course.
the size of England.
Yeah.
You can't split up but so much of England to compete against one another.
I mean, you have the English Premier League, though. Soccer,
So this is,
And I think I think what it boils down to is like just the way that the country's split up, because English soccer goes through multiple divisions, and so like you have a town. So historically, a lot of the teams that have played in the Premier League, which is the first division of English soccer, are big cities: Manchester, Liverpool, Chelsea, which is in London. And then you have, your tier 2 cities that can fluctuate. Once because you're in a division doesn't mean you stay there. Like you have to succeed to stay in that division, or you can be what's called relegated. So you can be kicked out of the first division into the second division. But historically, the teams that have done better have been the bigger cities. You have more talent pool. So I think that what I'm getting at is it boils more down to community, whereas the NBA, for example, is organized. Like it's organized by people with money.
Yeah.
Same thing with the NFL.
What were you going to say?
how much we know about cricket. Yes, we knew we probably had a team, but I didn't know they achieved significant success, including a quadruple sweep in the Men's Cricket World Cup League 2 in late 2025. Never even heard that.
There we go.
Huh.
That wasn't on ESPN.
No.
It might have been on the Ocho.
Yeah, I know zero about cricket. Now I know like 1% of cricket.
I'm also really glad that we watched these two videos in the order that we did, the catches and then the explained, because I got a taste for it. But then this really made me appreciate what happened the first video.
I'll also say this. If you notice things about our sports compared to others, we have to have all this equipment to play all our sports. Hockey,
Gloves, padding, helmets.
football, baseball. You can play this with, I mean, realistically, if you wanted to be,
and a ball.
yeah, realistically, each team could share the same bat and ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You just have 11 people on one side, 11 people on the other, and call it a day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or
Have a
five.
boundary.
And set up a wicket.
Or five.
Yeah. Rugby, you got a rugby ball and some people. There you go.
got a game.
They got a game.
Soccer
2 trees and a
Cleats
ball.
and a ball.
and a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So
It's funny. Never in a million years would I have thought 2 years ago I'd be sitting here watching a sport explained to me that I'm genuinely interested in. It's the craziest thing.
big cricket guy here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very cool.
All right. 2v2, Mark and I versus you and Josh. Cricket tournament in the backyard.
Let's go.
So, if you made it this far, you should comment.
There was something I was going to say to comment, and then I don't remember what it was. Paddle.
And all that leaves us to say is this has been blanks no one asked for, and certainly no one asked for this.
But wait, there's more. Still got that itch for more blanks no one asked for? Click that bottom left video down there to see the content that YouTube thinks would be the best for you.